Hello and welcome. I'm Jane Dutton with a wrap of the week's news. It's Freedom Day tomorrow and there's a lot happening across the country. Many of you will be out and about along with Oscar Pistorius. We've got those pictures of him as a free man coming up. But first, is this milestone in our history being celebrated?
Hi, my name is Kaylin. I'm from Pretoria and I think I'm excited to see real change in the upcoming elections so that people on the ground such as myself and my family and my community can start to experience the change that we fought for in our democracy.
Guys, my name is Sembi.
I'm Tanya.
Please vote.
Your vote matters.
Jacques Nel spoke to school kids in the Eastern Cape about their arduous journey for an education.
In his inaugural State of the Nation address 3 decades ago, Nelson Mandela, South Africa's first democratically elected president, emphasized the importance of fostering a culture of learning nationwide. However, today, 30 years later, thousands of learners face arduous journeys just to reach school.
So the first thing that needs to be pointed out is that the scale and scope of the problem is unknown. And that is because, particularly in the Eastern Cape, the administrative systems are just not up to scratch. So the number of classrooms that are overcrowded, the number of children that are not receiving scholar transport, it really is a big grey area.
Learning in a class full of students, 216 eyes watching you during presentation, was difficult. I don't want to lie. And yeah, we do have students that are like, some of them are in their own world, some of us are in class trying to focus. So we end up losing focus because not all of us came to school for the same reason.
Despite government's clear obligations in terms of providing scholar transport and adequate school infrastructure, 30 years after the first democratic elections, learners in the Eastern Cape and across the country are still facing fundamental challenges when it comes to realizing their constitutionally enshrined right to education.
Also out and about and making news is Oscar Pistorius. The disgraced Paralympian was captured in exclusive images this week, smiling while he reported to the parole office in Pretoria. These are the first ever photos of him as a free man after release from 9 years in prison for killing Rewe Steenkamp in 2013. Pistorius, the first double amputee to compete in the able-bodied Olympic Games, regained his freedom in January 2024. He remains under house arrest at his uncle's luxury mansion in Pretoria while following parole rules. This week, the ANC lost its bid to stop the MK party from using the name and logo associated with its former armed wing in the Durban High Court. And just in time, the Umkhonto weSizwe party has met its Thursday deadline and filed papers opposing the IEC's appeal against the Electoral Court decision relating to Jacob Zuma's participation in the elections.
We have received confirmation of the back of our extension request, and we've been granted an extension to file on or before the 30th of April.
The alleged trigger man in the Senzo Meyiwa trial has denied meeting or knowing singer Kelly Khumalo, the alleged mastermind behind the football star's murder. Mthobisi Mncube has denied any involvement in Meyiwa's murder, saying he's never been in the house where the Bafana captain was killed. Meyiwa was shot at Khumalo's home, who was his girlfriend at the time. The state believes she masterminded the murder.
For the first time since the trial started, the lawyer for Mthobisi Mncube has gone into some detail while giving his version. This was while cross-examining one of the investigators, Sergeant Batho Mogula. Mncube denies any involvement in the murder of Senzo Meyiwa, saying he was not in the house on the day of the crime. This is contrary to the state's case, which is that Mncube was not only one of the two intruders, but he was also the gunman. His lawyer, Advocate Charles Mnisi, has also pointed out how the description by those who were in the house of his physical appearance looks nothing like him. Eyewitness News.
Fantastic news for those living in and around Cape Town. Train services affected by vandalism and theft are beginning to move.
It's ridiculous how affordable it is. It's a great train. I think it's also, it's especially in a city like Cape Town where the whole city is so closely congested. You need people to be taking the train.
It's very smooth, it's very nice. We love it. A lot of people love it, based on what I've, spoken and communicated with a lot of other people surrounding in Muizenberg and wherever from Fishhoek and everywhere else.
The city's southern line from Fishhoek Station into the CBD is working again 2 weeks after serious storm damage, with promises that train services from Khayelitsha to the CBD centre will start soon. The Passenger Rail Agency of South Africa says it's on course to resume full train services for Cape Town's Central Line. Now, this line serves thousands of people who've been badly affected by the costs of alternative travel. Celebrating a massive drug bust in KwaZulu-Natal, police have seized cocaine worth more than 15 million rand after a tip-off at the port of Richards Bay. The blocks of the drug were found in a vessel believed to have been travelling from Colombia. No arrests have been made at this stage. And this bust comes just months after police made 2 big drug busts at the Durban Harbour and the King Shaka International Airport late last year.
This trend of the South American countries drugs coming from there to this country. It is a trend, it's a problem. But fortunately enough, we do have cooperation between our law enforcement agencies in South Africa and from the Americas. So we'll continue cooperating and making sure that the drugs that are coming from there do not reach our streets. We have, as you said, yesterday recovered these drugs worth 15 million, and we'll continue doing the work. We'll continue exchanging intelligence and making sure that we will fight this scourge.
Tonight is the second leg of the semi-final of the CAF Champions League. Mamelodi Sundowns take on Esperance of Tunisia. Sundowns need to overturn a 1-0 deficit to make it to the final.
The CAF Champions League trophy is the prize that Mamelodi Sundowns covets the most. They're a club addicted to winning and are on course for their 7th consecutive league title, but nothing has quite satisfied them in the way that the prestigious continental title has, one that they won for the first and only time to date back in 2016. Tunisia's Esperance lead their semi-final tie 1-0 ahead of tonight's second leg match and will be a challenging opponent to get past. However, Sundowns have a lot of confidence playing on home soil. Their last defeat in the DStv Premiership was back in September 2022, and they're currently on a 46-match unbeaten run in that competition. The Brazilians also tend to make home ground advantage count in the Champions League, where they've yet to concede a goal this season, and their stellar record has seen them losing just 1 home game in CAF competitions since 2017. Bafana captain Ronwen Williams, who is the Sundowns goalkeeper, understands the magnitude of tonight's game, and he's spoken in the same breath about having their sights on bigger things, like emulating 11-time champions Al Ahly, who've created a legacy in this particular competition. Kickoff at Loftus Versfeld is at 8 p.m. Mawande Mateza, Eyewitness News Sport.
That's it from me and the rest of the team for this week. Have a good weekend.
Eyewitness News, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, log on to ewn.co.za or ewn.mobi.